Right Honorable, late. One day, I want also to go on record. I am among the members who never supported Right Honorable. One day he called me. It was a Sunday at around 12. He called me. Herbert, he used to call me Herbert because right from the last parliament, I was among the top people who supported him when he was a deputy speaker. He told me, Herbert, I know you have the reason to support Right Honorable Kadaga. What you do when you are posting, use those words, maintain, don't be diverted. When he won, I went to his office. When I entered, he said, Herbert, sit there. Before I sat, I was kneeling down. He said, no. He left his seat. He said, no. Those things of politics ended a long time ago. We must work together. He left his the other chair, came and sat here. He told me a lot of things. He advised me, and I want to tell you, he has been my best friend. He counseled me, and he supported my project, even when we had just reported to Parliament. Such a person. With the few words, those few words, allow me take back the microphone to the Master of Ceremonies tonight. He has something to communicate before we invite the Right Honorable Secretary General. Rest in peace, Right Honorable.
There is a short documentary about the life of Jacob Oulanyah. Let's be patient to watch it. Then we will go to those short communications and we go home. In a few minutes, we will go home.
A titan, a hero, a cadre, a father, and a true statesman. Just a few words to describe Jacob Lokori Oulanyah.
We loved and cherished Jacob dearly. He stood tall as a gentle giant, a very principled man, and he kept to his word. He was an accomplished lawyer and a legislator. His loud laughter kept the sense of humor in our hearts in all the difficult times that we've been going through.
Because such a person like me, Jacob was mentoring me to inspire those who feel like, those ones who are undermined, those who feel like they cannot do it.
Born and raised in Gulu district to the vibrant Mzee Nathan Okori on 23rd March 1965, Jacob Lokori Oulanyah would rise up through the ashes of northern Uganda like a phoenix to forge his beautiful path to a career that would see him become a great man.
I, Jacob Lokori Oulanyah, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will at all times well and truly serve the Republic of Uganda in the office of the Speaker, and that I will support and uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda as by law established. So help me God.
As the Speaker of Parliament, he was very efficient in completing parliamentary business. He's somebody who was very punctual and very precise in making sure that all the papers followed and completed. Very witty on the chair.
A lawmaker at his best, Jacob Oulanyah, each time he would walk, it would seem like he was floating, exuding confidence, charisma, professionalism, which showed that indeed he deserved to be a Speaker of Parliament that will never be forgotten.
The spirit of Ubuntu. I am because we are. You are because I am. And we share in that spirit. Your pain is my pain. My joy is yours. We share in this This is the power of human connection that binds all of us. And if we apply them, we celebrate in our lives.
To know who Oulanyah really was, we retrace his footsteps from a humble fisherman to the Speaker of the prestigious August House. Oulanyah defied all odds and skipped very many hurdles to build an unforgettable
I
career.
remember Jacob both professionally and personally. And I think there are three things that stand out with Jacob. One is Jacob's integrity in everything that he did. Jacob was somebody who made sure that he was doing the right thing, whether people were watching or not. Jacob was somebody who stuck by his principles. Our country has had so many different scandals of different sorts, but you'll never hear Jacob's name mentioned in any of those scandals. So his integrity. Related to that was his perfectionism. He hated any person who didn't do things to perfection. He absolutely wanted everything to be done right, to be done with professionalism. And that was right from the time when he set up his own private practice, to the time when he was a member of Parliament, to the work that he did at Standard Chartered Bank. Everywhere he went, Jacob acted with absolute professionalism. And
Oulanyah attended St. Joseph's College, Laibi, Dr. Obote College, Boroboro, and Kololo Senior Secondary School before joining the prestigious Makerere University in 1988 to pursue a Bachelor in Agricultural Economics. Makerere University would shape the ambitious young Oulanyah and help him start his successful political career, beginning as a student leader.
I've known Jacob professionally for a number of years, from the time he was chair of the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee. But I have known him also personally as a close friend from 1988. So that's a period of 34 years. We were together at the university when he was studying economics and I was studying law. What brought us together was student politics. I was a person interested in politics, as was Jacob. And right from around the second year, we started interacting while planning on what to do to bring change in the student community.
Oulanyah served as Speaker of the Makerere University Students Guild, while his good friend Norbert Mao served as Guild President. The two of them are vividly remembered for defending the rights and privileges of students when they protested against the scrapping of student allowances by government.
He never even ever told me he had cancer. But I knew that because of the severe beating he got on the 10th of December 1990 in Makerere when we were on strike as students. He was our speaker, remember, and I was the guild president, and the police came to disperse an assembly of students, and 2 students were killed, shot by the police. Many others were injured by bullets, and Jacob was beaten very severely with the butt of a gun, and that beating traumatized his internal organs. He had to undergo emergency surgery in Mulago, and they removed his spleen.
After school, Oulanyah would embark on a political career that would shape the man he was. In 2001, he would contest for the parliamentary seat of Omoro County as a member of Uganda's People's Congress in the then Gulu district under the no-party system, also known as the movement political system, winning the seat to represent the constituency.
I first met Oulanyah about 1999-2000 when he was preparing to contest in the 2001 elections. He came and visited us in Lusaka, and we were able to cover some important ground. And as a member of UPC, we are actually proud of his contributions, which remain in the Hansard of Parliament. As a member elected, although in 2001 we're not allowed to field candidates, the affiliations were largely known, and his performance on the floor of Parliament is something which any serious legislator should look at and learn something.
Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah was a member of UPC, a distinguished member of UPC. He did a lot of mobilization in 2001. At that time, we were under the movement system, and it led, and remember Dr. Bote had promised he was going to come back. So after the Lusaka meeting, Dr. Bote was supposed to come back in 2005. So they were preparing the way for the founding president to come back. Just like his demise, Dr. Bote also died like that mysteriously as a result of, I think, this was cancer also for Right Honorable Jacob Oulanyah. So it was a shock to all of us. So he mobilized for the UPC. He really re-energized the party because he was an orator. He was a very good, apart from being a great communicator, he was also a very good interperson relations, in other words, a good mobilizer. So he energized the base, party base, and also recruited new members.
UPC candidate, he would lose his re-election bid, his one and only blemish on his political career. He was elected to represent Omoro County Speaker of the 9th Parliament. Following the 2016 general ballot, he received 300 votes while Muhammad in a race against his former superior. Had for long been struggling in northern Uganda, but thanks to Oulanyah, who was National Vice Chairperson Northern Region in 2021, the ruling
districts of Acholi. We have you presenting hope for this country. Other people are presenting fear for this country. We have you presenting progress for the presentation of securing the future back then, securing your future.
The 2021 presidential campaign, Oulanyah's oratory skills proved to be key as he always exceeded expectations in his speech. His punchline delivery proved that he was in the league of great public speakers like Martin Luther King.
Your Excellency, we come here at a time when so many things have changed in this country. I read somewhere that a country that keeps both eyes in the past perishes. But a country that keeps one eye in the past and one eye in the future prospers. Your Excellency, when you took over government, you did just that. You asked all of us to keep one eye in the past and one eye in the future. One eye in the past so that the past can instruct us about what we should avoid, because our past has been difficult. but one eye in the future, that the past instructs us and we construct a new future for this country.
For the national resistance movement, yes, he came. And he really gave that energy that the party needed in northern Uganda. He spoke so well, he brought issues so well, you could see when somebody speaks, you see the clarity in his mind about issues that should be spoken about. And that helped us in the north to make sure that we package our messages so well to the population. And it really boosted our campaigns. And so, to the population of northern Uganda, of course, definitely, we believe that in the near future, someone else will come to be elected to replace him in the Central Executive Committee of the party, to represent the region. But I believe that such a person should be a unifier. Such a person should be somebody who can balance all the sub-regions, West Nile, Acholi, and Lango. Because these are historical sub-regions that understand each other so well, and they have historical issues amongst them. So we needed somebody who could be above the petty issues and unite the sub-region. To the population of Omoro, yes, it is a shocking moment for them, I know, and for all of us. But one, we need to thank them because Omoro voted NRM throughout. The woman MP is NRM, Catherine Lamwaka, and then Oulanyah Jacob also being NRM. Now, we believe that this death should not shake their faith.
Right, Honorable.
Honorable colleagues and esteemed mourners, we will continue to watch that documentary. The Secretary General of the party is here. Let's hear from the horse's mouth. Then we will go home and watch the documentary. Yes. So let me take the pleasure to invite the Secretary General of the NRM, the Right Honorable Richard Todung.
Thank you. The Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Honorable Ministers who are here, members of the Central Executive Committee of the party, members of Parliament, my colleagues from the NRM Secretariat, the clergy, the family, dear mourners, friends, and everybody. We have been speaking for a long time. We had a long afternoon at the party head office. And I just need to speak in Luo to my relatives who have come from Omoro. Then I invite one of my colleagues to come and speak on our behalf. I also recognize the Secretary General of the Democratic Party. I'm told he's around. Please, thank you so much for joining us. He was with us at the party secretariat. Dot hun lutua mwa ki Omoro. Pole wuno ke pero. Pero ni oporo ogwaro wan weng. Kumwa food miel, chongwa tika miel, koyo food porre kumwa. Wabiru wuno ke tek chwiny. Omegi wa Jacob Oulanyah weko gang modong ki le tiano matiano. Wan miro chung wuno ngetgi, wek gudong, anyim gu betie. Wafo iro twal wun me bino, me jingo at chwiny oto. I'd like to request my brother, Dr. Tanga Odoi, to come and speak on my behalf. He has not spoken ever since we've been, and I think as an elder, he should also speak. Am I right or I'm right? Thank you so much. We've been speaking, and I think he can also say a word. After his brief speech, I will sing you also a small song from the Luo version. Thank you.
Thank you, Ladit. Forever.
Afoyo, the family of the late J.O., the church, the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament, the Vice Chairperson of NRM Western Uganda, members, my elders from the Secretariat, ladies and gentlemen. I've been introduced severally. I'm Tango Doi. I got to know Jacob in 1988. I joined Makerere in 1984, 4th October. So Jacob found when I was a tutorial assistant because I didn't leave Makerere. In 1988, I was also teaching Kololo High School. My classes would start at 7:15. I would lock the gate after I've admitted S6. Then Jacob comes, a tall, elegant, free-speaking boy. I asked him, what's the problem? That I've just come to see a person said to be teaching history here and to listen in. So I allowed him in my class. And then he said he wanted to ask a question. I said, you'll not ask a question, you give us an answer to the question we'll ask. And the question was Napoleon Bonaparte a true son or a true child of the French Revolution? Then he said that question was a bother to him because people say, yes, he was a child, but he was not a child. I told Jacob, what is your version? He said, my version is that you cannot be a child and not a child. I told him, then you got 22 out of 25. Because you cannot be a child of the revolution and not a child. You can be a child of the revolution, but who made mistakes. But those mistakes do not cancel the fact that you are a child of that revolution. It sounded philosophical, but that's the reality. At Makerere University, the day Mao, Comrade Mao and Jacob were beaten, I was alive. I witnessed it. I was standing at Social Science Building when they passed. When they were beaten, Onyango was killed in that fracas. The rest is a long story. Members of NRM, humility. We've been in that office. I came into that office after being the chair of MWASA, Makerere University Academic Staff Association. But the professors did not abuse me like the candidates in NRM have abused me. Jacob comes to express interest and goes too low that even my staff, our staff at the commission, would tell him, don't pass here, and he does that. A deputy speaker coming to express interest. He comes to express interest for SEC. He comes to express interest for speaker. And he asks you, how many people do you need me to move with? That sense of humility and respect for office bearers. I'm not saying abusing us is bad, but I'm saying have some sense of leadership. Leadership demands for servitude. Lastly, Right Honorable Secretary General, on 4th December 2021, you were in my home, sir, to celebrate 1 year
the demise of my mother. Then when we were together, the chairperson of the district said, but do you know Jacob has reached Tororo? I said, Tororo? To do what? Is he coming to my function because I gave him an invitation? No, he's going to attend the introduction ceremony of Ofono Pondo's daughter. President Kajingo was there. That was our guild president at one time, at Makerere. I said, I'm going to pick a phone, and call Jacob. I called him. I said, Tanga, what's the problem? I said, my mother's 1 year. He says, we are praying. I invited you. He said, you didn't invite me. You've just heard that I'm in Tororo and you want to take advantage. I said, that's even better. Invitation of Ofono Pondo will start at 3. They are going to keep dancing and wasting time. You just pass here and we pray for my mother. Jacob just changed his route and was in Kisoko, my home. Look at me, a son of Tanga, a local man, having the speaker, the Right Honorable Speaker, the Right Honorable Secretary General, the professors in my compound. That was Jacob. But Jacob said what is true of me in my function. And you remember it. That Tanga is a very peaceful person. But step on his toes. If you want peace, don't step on Tanga's toes. And he looked at me and I said, you are right. This height demands that you respect me where it is possible. This height makes me fight you harder because the center of gravity is very stable. I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank Jacob. I shed tears, and I will not shed tears maybe when the body comes. I was in Parliament, I broke down. When my son played the recordings we had with him in Entebbe, we all broke down. Saying, my nephew, stand firm. Advising me, stand firm, never resign in NRM. The party is called National Resistance Movement. Resist, never resign. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm ready to keep to that word. I'll resist infidels and infidelity. I'll never resign, like Jacob told me. I want to thank you, Right Honorable Secretary General. I'm a Luo. I'm within my uncles and nephews. I want to thank you very much for giving me this time and for bringing us as a team from the Secretariat. We are very united and ready to work for the party. Thank you, and God bless you, Jacob, and rest in eternal peace. Thank you. Wanyoto Lydia Mutende. Honorable Wanyoto Lydia Mutende, Right Honorable Secretary General. If there's 1 minute, that young lady knows Jacob. A student from Gayaza coming into the fore, she would speak in class, answer a question, and you just say this is an A material. May you just give her 1 minute to say a word about Jacob. Honorable Mutende Lydia Wanyoto. Protocol, she's a SEC member. I'm also a SEC member. But she's in charge of all women in NRM. But she knows that Jacob. May you take it with a pinch of sugar.
I can see you have ambushed her as she's preparing herself with the words she can use. Let me take the opportunity to introduce the Deputy Secretary General, Honorable Rose Nsereko Namayanja. Thank you so much for coming. I would like to introduce Honorable Rosemary Seninde. Thank you so much for coming. I'd like to introduce Honorable Emmanuel Dombo Lomala, the Director of Media and Public Relations. And I'd like to introduce the commissioners from NRM Electoral Commission, Honorable John Kijaji, the Deputy to Tanga Odoe, and Honorable Alesemera. Thank you so much for coming. We also have the SEC member here who is going to speak after Honorable Lydia Wanyoto and invite the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker of Parliament. So kindly, in the wisdom of Dr. In the wisdom of Dr. Now I'm going to sing with the Prime Minister from Acholi. He's organizing himself. I'm going to sing with him. You will enjoy. You just relax.
Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, the community in Mienga, our relatives and family from Lalogi who are here and Acholi, the OULANYAH immediate family, members of Parliament, the leadership of the NRM caucus in Parliament. I'm Lydia Wanyoto Mutende. Many of you know me as an NRM member, but also can I say servant of all the NRM women in Uganda and a member of the Central Executive Committee. I want to thank those who had the opportunity to call me, because rarely do we get microphones, even as women. But in this home, I wear a number of hats. We never called Jacob Jacob. Jacob is his official name. We call him Yakobo. I went to school with Dorothy Nangwale Oulanyah, Yakobo's first wife. Dorothy is laid in Lalogi, where we'll be laying Yakobo. From Gayaza on the way to Makerere, where we met. Jacob was in Makerere for 7 years. 3 years as an research economist student, but also 3 years in law school, and at that time for 3 years, and then 1 year in LDC. So he spent his students' politics and school, where many of us found him still in Makerere. But we got to know him as student leaders, because I went on to become not only GRC member, but guild representative council, but also the chairperson of Mary Stuart Hall, then the biggest girls' hall at the university. And at that time, of course, we had found that people had traveled the politics. Dombo here, Mayombo, Dalet Mayombo, Yakobo here, and then, of course, Mao and Andrew Romshana, who began the politics of the Nide campaign. But apart from Dorothy, when I joined university politics and campaigns before I was a student, because my brother Kenneth Wanyoto, who was ahead of us, was Jacob's deputy speaker. So you had the Wanyoto who has been a deputy speaker of the guild in Makerere. And when he passed on last year, around June, we were with Jacob. So in my eulogy, I've told Mao that, sorry, Mao, you used to have the protocol of the Freedom Square, beginning with Kenneth, then Jacob, then you. Now they've gone ahead of you in that order. So we hope that we'll stand with him. So in both students' politics, Jacob has been around me, but also family, because I was honored to participate in their wedding with Dorothy. And when Dorothy passed on, we were here. I was honored to speak at her funeral in All Saints. We went to Lalogi. When Yakobo lost election 2006, he lost a wife, he lost a daughter. We were very miserable friends with Francis Gimara and the others. And there are people who stood with us. I remember visibly people like General Kahindo Tafide. I want us to really honor, clap for Tafide. For the week that I've been here, and also people don't talk about many people, but I want to sing out those most difficult days of Yakobo. 2006, we lost elections, and then the losses in the family. Otafide was with us, and he became the common chief mourner in Lalogi with those jokes that kept us going. So I want to, SG, I'm sorry, but I was very happy when Yakobo joined NRM, because then the arguments became smaller and we built together. I was a commissioner of the NRM Electoral Commission. I was not a resistor, I was a servant, I was the work of my party. And I was the first commissioner to register Yakobo when he came to pick nominations, and a tree at the NRM party secretariat. I want to thank you so much for making our party grow, look beautiful. Now we move on pavements, and people are able to speak with the strength because we build a foundation that many people have been able to join. I want to thank you. I want to even thank you again for giving me the chance to speak as a founding member of the NRM party, because the party began in 2003-05 when many of us signed to begin a party that is going to lead Uganda, serve Uganda for 15 years and beyond. May the Almighty God rest Yakobo's soul in eternal peace. I thank you.
Thank you, and thank you so much. My choir members are ready. Are you ready for the song? Can we have another microphone? We are going to sing two. One is a song we always use for mourning. It's in Luo, and then another one is a Christian song. So the Prime Minister of Pora Chiefdom is going to lead us. If you know the songs, please, you can also join us.
Praise God. The song we are singing, the meaning of the song is, death has killed a peacemaker, and it has killed with jealousy. That is the meaning of the song in Luo, which we are going to sing. And also you received the greeting from the Pora Chiefdom, and then the entire Chiefdom of Acholi.
Aya, we are singing one for the church. As a choir leader now, let me stand here. Jacob Tiyo Yatariane, Kungi Logi Kola Lama Wari Polo, Lavani, Jacob Tiyo Yatariane, Logi Kola Lama Wari Polo, Lavani, Speaker Tiyo Yatariane, Kungi Logi Kola Lama Wari Polo, Lavani, Thank you. May I invite Honorable Chris, Amen, to come and say a few words and invite the Deputy Speaker of Parliament to speak to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our Secretary General of NRM, our Chief Mourner this evening, the Right Honorable Thomas Taebga TT. People from Western Uganda have been posting something which is funny, I will not say it. They were saying people thought Wanyankole got to be speakers. Now who is this? I am saying that I am saying that congratulate you upon the. Though there are words I have not said which were concluding. We want to congratulate you. The clergy who have led us in prayers this evening, my colleagues, the ministers and members of Parliament who are here, the members of SEC, the Secretariat of NRM, ladies and gentlemen. Unlike Tango Doi, who says because of his height, when you step on him, you'll be in trouble. Now for me, I'm the opposite. When you step on me, you can pass. I bring you condolences and words of comfort from the government. We have agreed that we have lost our distinguished friend. As we mourn, let us celebrate the life of Jacob Oulanyah. I came to know Jacob in 1990 when I joined the Makerere University, where he was already serving as a guild speaker. Norbert Mao was the guild president, and even that famous strike where 2 students were killed, I was actually very actively involved. When they shot one of the students who was my neighbor in Micho, I met him carrying his intestines. And was saying, come and help me, I just took off because the bullets were flying all over. So I have known him since 1990. He later joined the Parliament. I joined Parliament also. We served together in the Parliamentary Commission when he was the Deputy Speaker, and the Honorable Dombo and I were commissioners, and we shared a lot. And of course, he has been our Speaker. So if I was to speak about Jacob Oulanyah, I could speak until morning. So I speak about Jacob Oulanyah, the person that I know. In Western Uganda, there is a politician who was given a microphone to speak, to give his eulogy. He didn't know the person they were burying. And then he said, this man was very great. This man was a very good person. Then somebody came and whispered, said, we are burying a woman. They said, exactly. You know, when women do great things, they become like men. So he changed it. But basically, he didn't know the person he was talking about.
But I know Jacob since those days of 1990. And we have said many words since he passed on, but we continue to comfort the family and ask you to be strong. And we thank the church that has been with the family, with all of us, giving us those words of encouragement and comfort. There are many lessons we have drawn from the death of Jacob, and we shall continue to speak about them. But one of them, which is obvious, that has been a sad reminder that all of us, this is the journey that we shall take. Irrespective of the position you hold in society, all of us, this is the journey. And therefore, we should always be prepared for this point in our lifetime. At the risk of repeating myself, I still get calls. Even when I was here, I got a call from the media about the cause of death. So at the risk of repeating myself, let me also say, since we have many members of parliament, we have already spoken about this in public, that Jacob was battling with cancer. Cancer which predates the days of elections for speaker, because many people have tried to link his illness to the time when we voted him speaker. But we know that he was battling with cancer even much earlier than when we went into elections. To be specific, for those of you who are medical, he had a cancer which we call B-cell lymphoma, the non-Hodgkin's type. But we shall speak more about the medical report when we go for burial, when the medical report has come from Seattle where he died. And we have also explained that the reason why he was referred to the US was because that medical center in Seattle is a center of excellence in terms of new technologies of managing cancer, particularly the type that he had. And to clarify, because the Minister of Health spoke here last time, and the media did not understand what she said, because now the stories were government spent a lot of money, but he was not treated. No. What she meant was that there is a new type of technology which was actually worked out about 5 years ago. It's a new technology for treating cancer, where you extract immune cells from the bone marrow. They are called T cells. And then you take them in a laboratory, you subject them to genetic modification, and they develop receptors, which receptors are used to kill cancer cells. For those of you who are interested in reading, you can read about it. It is called the chimeric antigen receptor T-cell therapy. Now, the reason why we refer patients in the medical profession is that if you don't have that kind of technology here and the patient needs it, then you refer him or her from where the patient is to where it is. I have said this several times, that a medical referral is part of appropriate management of patients. And you can refer a patient from one level to another. Even patients are referred from America to Europe and Asia and vice versa. So I am saying that as a part of education, that nobody should complain when a patient is referred from one level to another. And it does not necessarily mean that where he's coming from, the system is failed. No. It means either that level has more specialized equipment or better specialists, and among medical people we refer to each other. So that's why the Murago doctors who were attending to him took a decision to refer him to Seattle. But unfortunately, the cancer had eaten him up to the extent that the bone marrow had been severely suppressed. and the cells could not be activated to be harvested. And the body organs, the organs were also failing. So he developed multi-organ failure and the severe bone marrow suppression, even attempts to get those cells from the brother, the siblings. I think the physical condition in which he was, he could not even take up that therapy. That's what the Minister of Health was meaning. But he was being stabilized, taken in the ICU, to stabilize him in preparation for that therapy. So it is not true that he didn't get treatment, but they were preparing him for that super specialized cancer treatment technology. Unfortunately, he did not make it, and we pray that the good Lord receives him. As a minister responsible for communication and information, let me also say this to Ugandans. It is not Ugandan, it is not African to behave the way some Ugandans have behaved as we discuss and make commentaries on the death of Jacob. There is a tendency of abuse of social media and communication platforms. But let us all unite as a country. Let us celebrate the life of Jacob, and let us as Ugandans, irrespective of what makes us different, be it political party affiliation, be it our faith, be it our ethnic and tribal backgrounds, let's all unite as Ugandans to mourn and celebrate the life and the times of Jacob OULANYAH. We continue to respond to many things. People have used this death to settle a number of things. I just got a complaint that somebody who had crossed from opposition to NRM and he was dissatisfied with the way NRM has rewarded him, had composed a song which was saying there is foul play in the death of Jacob, and I instructed the UCC to study that song and pull it down because we don't want controversy as we mourn and celebrate our life. So I am really saying as Ugandans, let us learn how to accept death, but also respect people like our distinguished speaker, so that together as a country, we give him a decent send-off. Finally, speaking again of communication, I asked my staff today, I asked them regularly, what is trending about Jacob OULANYAH? Oh, what is trending now is the budget for the funeral. I think a draft document leaked into the public, and I think I have tightened that how government documents leak. And I was saying, oh, you are spending 2.5 billion and so forth. One, before I invite the Deputy Speaker, is that the Parliamentary Pensions Act provides and gives guidance on how we handle the death of a speaker and deputy speaker while in office, when they die while in office. One, the law accords a state funeral. So Jacob will be given a state funeral. And a state funeral has a bigenderako, what goes with it. Because he's number 3 in the country. So necessarily the activities which will have budgetary implications. I have just spoken to the Clerk of Parliament, through which the resources are being channeled. And the budget, the final budget is 1.2 billion. Uganda, not 2.5 as the media has been publishing, quoting unauthorized sources. I'm now telling you as the spokesperson of government. Yes, you may still say it is big, but this is a big man. Yes, yes. Even if the man is spending more, we should, so that we comply with. Actually, the law even specifies how much as a percentage of what his gross earnings are. It is in the law. So it's not exaggerated. But again, to assure the country that we shall not allow the death of Jacob and the funeral arrangements to be an avenue for anybody to abuse the government resources. That will not happen. When I say the budget is 1.2 billion, it's an estimate. We could even spend less. But that's an estimate that the committee, or more, or where necessary, yes. But we have to give him a decent and befitting funeral as a speaker of the Parliament of Uganda, who is number 3 in the protocol of the country. So that should not be. Then the other clarification, I think those who had drafted the initial document also had made some errors. There is money budgeted for, I think, roads leading to his home being cleared, and they lumped that money on MPs from Acholi. People have been saying, Acholi parliamentary group, why give them money? I think there was a mistake. I got a clarification from the clerk. And when they put some money to work on the roads leading to his home, I think they just put on MPs, but it's not true that the MPs are being given money, because it has also been a concern in the public. So I thought I would give those clarifications that there is no intention whatsoever to use the death of Jacob for anybody in the government to misuse government money, but we shall spend what is necessary to give Jacob a decent send-off. Otherwise, we thank you very much for coming. I want to thank the NRM Secretariat for organizing today's function at the Secretariat, and also the NRM Parliamentary Caucus for working with the Secretariat for this evening's dedication to the vigil, to make it a yellow night. We would have spoken more and more, but we still have days we shall continue to speak about Jacob Oulanyah, but he's a man who was born ahead of his time. The English say it is not the number of years in your life that matter, or that matters, but the life in your years. And I'm sure from the eulogies we have received since the beginning, since he passed on, we can all confirm that this was a great man who has left a very strong legacy. Now, since I was received with a song by the people of the North, I feel incited to receive the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker with a song.
Yes. Yes.
But now I don't know.
You call them, they'll come.
Yeah?
They'll come. You call them.
You want the Chiga one or English one?
The Chiga one. Chiga.
The Chiga one?
Yes.
So where are the Chiga Banyankoli?
Let them
Banyachitara. Then you come. Then you come and we agree. When you first sit, we shall receive you. Oh, you want to join? You want to join? Should you want a song? We can have it. Yes. Should you want the Chiga dance? Because we are celebrating Jacob's life. Yes. We can have it. What do you prefer?
Now you can imagine we need a conference first to agree on a song.
Song or dance?
Yes. The dance.
The Chitaguru. Yes. Because we have agreed we are celebrating the life of Jacob.
Yes.
So they have said we do this. Let's first agree.
Orior kwera we Orior kwera we Orior kwera Nyamahanga Orior kwera we Orior kwera Nyama Ruhanga tatitor kwera Orior kwera we Tihino rikwingana ni Orior kwera Nyama Okahanga iguru nenso Orior kwera we Enyanja yazo mu buteko Orior kwera Nyama Abajungu behangano Orior kwera we Bahanga yo muntu tureba Orior kwera Nyama Ruhanga wa Abraham Orior kwera we Tihino rikwingana ne Orior kwera Nyama Orior kwera Orior kwera we Orior kwera Nyamahanga
rerera waruha, rerera waruha, akasherako ko kutandiriwo, aye, 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 afoyo bino. Rukunde gumeho, rukundo ya Yesu, ahagati yeitu neimwe, rukunde gumeho, rukundo ya Yesu, rukundo, rukunde gumeho.
Yebale munonga. Mwebale munonga.
Mukama otwembere ruya twakushaba oyo likwera tumoyije twembere nitumanya bana bawe ai Mukama iraka ryawe ai Mukama twarihurira niritweta iraka ryawe ai Mukama twarihurira niritweta Aisha twakushaba mutima rikwera shumayije otwerembere nitumanya nguturya abana bawe ai Mukama otwerembere Yerusalemu okejoza entumwa zawe omwoyo ikwera Yerusalemu okejoza entumwa zawe omwoyo ikwera ezishaha twakushaba mutima rikwera shumayije otwerembere nitumanya nguturya abana bawe ai Mukama otwebembere otwebembere ai Mukama otwebembere.
Mwebale munonga.
With that, I take the opportunity but also to remind you that the body of Jacob arrives tomorrow at 2 p.m. and the chairperson of the National Organizing Committee had already released the program, which program includes paying tribute in Parliament, and we shall have an opportunity as members of Parliament to speak about our speaker, about our friend. So with those few words and the Chiga Chinyankore Nyashtara dance and songs, I take the opportunity to invite the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, T.T. Thomas Tayebga, to come and address the monarch.
Thank you, Honorable Chris. Chris, we call him the bouncer of cabinet. So wherever he is, security is guru guru. Members of cabinet, including the Secretary General. Many people don't know that the Secretary General is a member of cabinet. The Deputy Secretary General, SEC members. I've seen my brother Sewava from the chairman's office, and the family of our brother, the late Right Honorable OULANYAH, religious leaders, fellow mourners. We've been coming here several times. We've been making speeches. So, like Honorable Chris said, we might end up repeating ourselves. But I'm glad today we are having MPs. Now, for the new members of Parliament, there is a member of Parliament who was very, very, very close to Jacob. Very, very. I know all of us were close, but we have someone called Sandarion. Honorable, stand up. Odria. This brother of ours, I know everyone in the Acholi community knows in the northern Uganda, but whenever I wanted anything to do with Jacob, it was through Odria Arion. Honorable, thank you for being a great friend to your brother, and we join you. Before I make my remarks, colleagues, like Honorable Chris said, the body is coming tomorrow. Honorable Kabanda should be given a chance later on to tell us the formalities. I don't know whether it's Honorable Kabanda in charge, but he should be, of how we should behave tomorrow, of how we should dress and conduct ourselves. Because tomorrow we have to show love to our great leader. So we shall get a chance. Honorable Kabanda is given that opportunity to explain to members. But on Tuesday, the body will arrive at Parliament at 9 a.m. Colleagues, we should all be there on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Let's all be at Parliament by the time the body arrives. Not us finding the body in Parliament. Let the body find us at Parliament. We will come, our Right Honourable Speaker, and then at 10 we shall be having a session. And it will be a very long session where we hope each one will be given a chance. The session will be presided over by the Right Honourable Speaker, Right Honourable Anita Mong, from whom I bring greetings. I met her in the morning. We went through the nitty-gritties of that session. And I want to take this opportunity to thank her for being there for Jacob's family, because we were together with the brother to Jacob, very good friend, OPO lawyer, doctor, and the daughter Tim. And we shared a lot in the morning. And we managed to speak to the team that was coming from the US on Ethiopian Airlines. So we are able to track before they could board and ensure that everything is in order. So I want to thank the Right Honourable Speaker for being there for the family and colleagues. That's what we should do as friends. So I felt those announcements. But above all, I want to request the regional whips, because on Tuesday, Jacob's body will lie in state. After plenary on Tuesday, the body will remain in Parliament and will be taken away on Wednesday. So we won't sleep in Parliament. Colleagues, all of us, come when you're ready. There is no excuse of going back home. I request the regional whips, mobilize your colleagues. We shall have hymns in your local songs, in your local languages. Bachiga will sing in Ruchiga, the Karmajong will sing in Karmajong, the Achori in Achori, the Langi in Langi, till morning. We shall entertain each other. We shall ensure no one gets bored to sleep till morning. If we are to doze, we shall doze in Koro live on TV. Okay? We don't care. But on Tuesday night, we should stand with the family. It will be a tragedy for the family to be with the body of Jacob in Parliament, and we are nowhere to be seen. So I call upon all colleagues, let's come and we do that. Thank you, you're the best. And I want to thank you for always being here. All through, members of Parliament have been here. Honorable Sharon Barmoy, Honorable Santa Alum, and all of us colleagues, every day, Audrey permanent here, every day, colleagues, you're here. I want to thank you for that. People know that we are one house, and I mean, that's the only greatest respect we can show to our leader. Jacob. Now, going to the real Jacob. Because today is the NRM day. So we should talk about Jacob in relation to the NRM. I'm a speaker, I'm new on the floor, but I'm deployed by the NRM. That's my party. Yeah. So I'm deployed. They can remove me. They can allow me to continue. And I mean, so I'm NRM. I'm NRM. And Jacob was NRM. So there's no question about saying you're a speaker, you're a deputy speaker, you should be Newton. No, not at such a time when we as a family have lost a very big pillar. But Jacob, however much he was NRM, a very staunch one, I think when you interacted with him, he felt the strength of NRM only lies in the NRM allowing other parties to express themselves and show their weakness and even their little strengths. You give them a chance, because you see, they can go around complaining that you've denied them an opportunity. But even if you gave them that opportunity, they can't use it for anything to threaten NRM. So he wanted an NRM that does not suffocate others. And that's what he was working for. And I believe we have to follow up on that to ensure that as NRM, we leave others. But he usually also emphasized that you are entitled to your opinion, but not your own facts. Because achievements of NRM are factual. They're embedded in facts. So you can go, you express your opinion, NRM is what, NRM is what, but when the facts are brought onto the table, oh, you have nowhere to hide. And that's what Jacob was pushing for. That allow others to speak. Let them give their opinions. Let them lie. But the facts will come out. And the moment he saw facts, that's when he decided to join the government. And he has worked strongly with the party and the government. I don't want to spend a lot of time, but Jacob, I've learned, you know, we learn lessons from people. And sometimes it's difficult to learn from you when you are alive, by the way. I was trying to read about death and what, and someone said, the problem with death is the best quotes about death are written by people who are alive. So they don't know anything about it. So it's a mystery. But, you know, when you look at Jacob's life, it wasn't about him knowing, oh, his goal was not to live forever. No. And that's something which we should learn. His goal was to live a life to create an impact that will live beyond him. I think even if you come 100 years from now, if you put Jacob Oulanyah quotes in Google, you'll get some of the greatest quotes. If you read the Hansard of Parliament, you know, colleagues, sometimes the other day when the president gave me a book, Bujagari question, I received many queries. What is this book about? But now if you reflect, you look at the level of debate of that time. You look at when Dick Nyai spoke, when Okuro Park spoke, when Dombo spoke, when Ben Watcher spoke. Colleagues, you don't, you know, to be a good legislator, you don't need to go far. Go to the Hansard. You go to the Hansard. When Ken the man spoke, by the way, even if he had in some little comedy, but whenever he could speak. So when Jacob Oulanyah spoke, and then me, as a deputy speaker, I have a blueprint. My work is very easy. The other day I was telling people here, my work is very easy. Jacob gave me a blueprint. And very simple for number one, keep time. Number two, have order in the house. The house can't be a marketplace. We can't debate on a procedure, point of order, point of information. No. That's what Jacob was saying you shouldn't allow. Okay? So we are going to learn. He has given us a blueprint. A blueprint he left for the presiding officers is the same blueprint he left for you colleagues. So let's go and look at it. And then we shall have many Jacobs. We shall multiply. People will say, oh, these are guys who passed through the hands of Jacob. Finally, the man was a warrior. We're calling him the Lion of Anaka. Is it something? The Lion of Omoro. There is also another, I think, like a village or what they were referring to. But why am I saying this? Yeah, why am I saying this? You can't believe, because the other day Dr. P. Oloya, Mao, and Chief Justice, and even in cabinet, somehow the president told us when Jacob knew that indeed his life was gone. But there's something I'm thinking about, because even Jacob, even when he knew he was dying, he kept working, he pushed on, and the spirit was, I'm still living until I'm pronounced dead. Many people give up. Because if he knew his situation, but he called me here on 22nd to reprimand me on how we had shabbily run Parliament that day, and he called the Prime Minister, you have to see a way of working with your sister, Anita Mong. And he kept calling us, don't allow any virtue, I'm coming back. If I find you've messed up, you'll see me. You know, that's a spirit, someone not giving up. Because he would have chosen to go remove or cut off all the phones, and he concentrates on his life. But he was asking, Jacob, I think even until like 3 weeks, 2 weeks before he became really, really bad, he was still calling his deputy to work on the order paper. Say, add on this, remove that. That's the kind of working spirit we have in him, we had in him. Not this spirit whereby if you want to hire a person for a hotel, people say get a Kenyan, because a Ugandan will sleep on a job. If you want your what to move, get an Indian. A Ugandan cannot work. Jacob was really determined and dedicated fully to work. So we shall miss you, Right Honorable. We've learned a lot from you, but I think we are yet to even learn more. We were told that they were working on a book. Our brother Chris Obore has very good information. The book was more or less 95% done. We shall ensure as the leadership of Parliament that it's duly published. We shall ensure it's duly published. We shall finance it so that his legacy is well documented for even all of us to partake. As we prepare to go to northern Uganda for the burial in Omoro, we should go in big numbers. We are going to make all the necessary arrangements. But we shall see your numbers on Tuesday night at around 3 a.m. We shall see how many have already fallen. Okay? So at 3 a.m. we shall be doing a roll call. Of course, people like Omar Apor, I'm sure. That one. But Kabanda might be part of his life. But I want to see Dr. Kefa at 3 a.m. where you will be. So, colleagues, with those very, very many words, I want to thank you for coming. And I hope tomorrow we shall welcome our hero in a befitting way. Honorable Kabanda, please come and give us, guide us allow me, clergy, we have a special way of doing things in Parliament. So I request my brother Honorable Kabanda to guide us on tomorrow, the dress code and all those details. Kabanda said, I inform you, there will be no sitting around at 3 a.m. on Tuesday.
My name is David Kabanda.
Up next on UBC, brought to you by...
Keep the lights on. Use Airtel Money to pay for all your Yaka bills conveniently. Open the My Airtel app to buy Yaka units. Airtel Money. Simple, secure, borderless.
Yes, thank you so much for keeping it UBC TV. Welcome back from the funeral service that was held that is being held at the late Jacob